So you're probably searching for a video and thinking about installing aftermarket grips on your Harley-Davidson motorcycle. You've definitely come to the right place. I want to thank RevZilla for their continued support of Law Abiding Biker Media. They provided these grips, these very nice Roland Sands Billet tracker grips. Welcome back, Bikeaholics. Ryan Urlacher here, lawabidingbiker.com. Thank you for checking back in. And as usual, guys, don't forget, if you appreciate all these free videos, hit the links in the description below to these grips and other products from RevZilla, guys. No additional cost to you, but we get a small kickback if you click through and make a purchase. Help support this channel. This particular Harley-Davidson is a throttle by wire. Don't worry, on this channel, search it or search our website. We also have a video if you're going to install on a cable throttle Harley. And with that said, what do you say we get our hands dirty and get wrenching, huh? Okay, and we'll get started here. What I've got here is just a little piece of duct tape. I'm just marking the very front line of this brake reservoir up here. And that way I know, of course you can get a rider back on the bike and adjust, where you want this, forward or back more. This is an easy way. You can do a mark or two. Just mark it. I'm kind of marking it with the seam and the front of this reservoir. I also know kind of where this half clamp's going to go back. So that's an easy trick. And then I've just got my Torx. This is a T27. We've got our perch clamp right here. One bolt on top, getting them loose. One bolt on bottom on the front here. All right, I'm going to leave that just kind of, it's holding this assembly right now. You can see that loosened up. And then I've got two Torx 25. That's a T25 wrench that I'm holding. And I'll pull this one out the top. And I'll set that bolt aside. And one right underneath here on the bottom on the front. Again, Torx 25. You can see how everything's kind of loosened up there. That's why I left that half clamp for now. If you have a second set of hands, that's handy for this project, but you don't need it. I'm going to set that aside. Now I've kind of got this whole system here that's loose. I'm going to finish backing these Torx 27s out of this perch clamp here. All right, now I've kind of got all this loose. I'm just finishing backing the half clamp out, the perch clamp with my finger. Just make sure you got this so it doesn't fall in your tank and stuff. All right, I'm setting this aside. That kind of frees everything up, all right? And this is a newer bike. If you had an older bike, you'll want to shim right here. You'd want to pull this and put a cardboard shim. The old switches with this little piece here, there's a little tiny piece in here that would shear these switches off. But the new ones have a ramp and they kind of ride fine, so you don't have to worry about that as much, but you'd want to shim it. If it was an older bike with that older switch. All right, never hurts to shim it if you want. You just fold up a piece of cardboard and put it right in there, and it holds it in place till you get it back on. Anyways, I'll just let this hang off the side there of the bike, and then that frees this up, all right? And I'm really just gonna move that a little bit, and then I can leave that there, and then my grip throttle side actually slides right off. This is your plastic piece, your throttle by wire right there. You can twist it and it snaps back into place. That's a throttle by wire. Don't forget, we have a video. If you have a cable throttle, search this YouTube channel or our website. You'll find it. It's completely free. But this is an electronic throttle. So make sure you get the right grip. I've seen that before in a hurry. This is the new Roland Sands Billet tracker grip. All right. And I'm going to out with the old. This is just a Harley grip. And I've got the throttle side because it's channeled as such. Very easy. These grips are splined way down on the inside in there so that it goes across the splines of this. And you just slide it over and you'll feel it. You kind of got to lift up the housing here to allow it to go in. And you want to make sure that this is in the channel. All right, there's a channel here for the throttle. And just make sure you get that in the bottom of the housing, and same on the top, that it's kind of over that grip. You'll see you have just a little bit of play. Now what I'm going to do is bring my brake lever and reservoir back up, and I'm going to make sure I get that lined up with the switch there a little bit. And again, these newer ones are great because they're ramped. They don't break them off like they used to. And just kind of take the housing off and you'll see, you'll line everything up in there. You can kind of push the switch back with the nub there. You'll actually see it in here. Once you get that all in place, you can kind of squeeze the housing back together, and you can see it's kind of holding the brake lever and the reservoir now. I'll get my half clamp back up here, and I'm going to try to finger start this bottom one. Got it started, and I'll also finger start the top one. Now I'm not going to get these tight yet, I'm just getting them finger started. You don't want to tighten anything down till the very end because you need some play and some room to manipulate stuff. T25 right there in the top. And again, I'm not tightening this down, I'm just getting it started and just getting it till I feel it start to seat. All right, now I know that nothing's gonna fall, and I'm gonna go right in the bottom with my other Torx T25 here. And again, just getting it so it starts to seat there. All right, now I have some semblance that everything's together. I had my piece of duct tape, so it's really nice. I can line it up right where it was. One thing I want to mention, guys, that I've seen before in the past, common mistake, is you see how this can slide, this whole assembly can slide in and out. All right, some guys will crank it up so far, and that's why it's nice to have a piece of tape to mark everything where it is. But just by feel, if you crank this thing all the way this way, all right, that's going to cause a problem because it's going to pull this grip and it's into this housing, and it needs play. It needs a little play so that it can throttle and the spring can work and snap back. If you crank it and push it all the way this way, you're going to take all the play out of this, and I don't know if I can recreate it, but yeah, see there? And it's not snapping back the throttle. And that's because if I tighten it down right there, it's sucking everything this way too far. And I can get it, see, it's not snapping back. As soon as I let up pressure, so you should have just a slight amount of play right in there, not too much, but just a little bit of play in and out. That keeps everything loose. Again, I can line it up right with my duct tape here, that line, and I make sure you got good play in your throttle. And if you didn't mark stuff, this is the time you'd want to get a rider on the bike and have them sit and adjust everything kind of where you want it to your liking. So now I'm comfortable. I can go ahead and make my final adjustments there. Take a look, everything's looking good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tighten that one down. Still got a little play there. That's a little too much, so you can take it and loosen it and suck it back in just a little bit. That's pretty good there. Tighten that. Yep, that's a good amount of play right there. Everything's solid. And go ahead and tighten this down. Don't over tighten these, you will strip them. This is not the strongest metal here, kind of tight, and maybe another little quarter turn, they're not going to move on you. I've seen a lot of guys strip those out over time. Same with these top ones, these T25s. I'm going right in the top there. And that's about as tight as I get them. It will not move on you guys with all four of these tightened down. Tight, and there we go, maybe a quarter turn. Everything's solid, nothing's going to move. All right, everything's working, test everything, throttle's good. Just that little bit of play, perfect. And we've got the Roland Sands billet tracker on this side. Now we'll go ahead and do the left side. Real quick, if you appreciate all the free videos that we put out and you want to support us, please become a patron member of Law Abiding Biker Media. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. You can pledge a certain amount per piece of content that we put out, no risk to you, because you can put a monthly cap on it. And that's right, there's benefits. You can get t-shirts and stickers into our private Facebook group, which is blowing up, a community all in itself. And if you're top tier, you can get access to any of our premium videos up on request. We'd really like to have you as a member, and hit the link in the description below, get all the details and find out more. That's right, guys, we want you to be involved with the biker revolution. Okay, moving on to the left side. I've already put my piece of duct tape up here right at the seam of the perch clamp. That marks for me where it goes back together. Again, you can always adjust it later with the rider on the bike. T27 right here, same as the other side. It's a perch clamp, and I'm just going to get those loosened up right now a little bit. I'm not going to back them all the way out because I need it to hold my entire assembly so it doesn't fall. Switching to my T25 wrench right up top. I'm going to back this one all the way out. All right, we'll set that out of the way. And right underneath on the front here, Torx T25, and that one, set it out of the way. All right, and you can see our top clamp's kind of free there. I will set this out of the way for a moment. All right, and you see I can actually slide that out like that. Sometimes you don't even have to remove this, just depends. But I was able to slide it out of the way, and this grip just comes right off. And well, these are Roland Sands billet tracker grips. Now, no instructions come with them, no guidance, of course, and so I figured it out on my own. The thing about this is a stock. This is the, this is a Harley-Davidson brand grip that comes with it. And you can see how the Roland Sands, what I come to find out is the Roland Sands is a lot shorter than the Harley-Davidson one, which goes inside the actual housing. This locks in so it doesn't fall off, Well, they've shortened this Roland Sands one. So I found out that it's shorter. Reason being is this will actually fit, the regular Harley grip will fit right in these channels down in here. All right, and lock, that housing will go over to lock in there. This, because it's shorter, I found out, and you can't really see them, but in the kit came these very, very tiny little, there's 2 holes, one on each side of the grip up in there. They're so tiny, I'm afraid to take them out now, and I'll fat finger and lose them, but it came with a little Allen wrench. Well, basically they're 2 little set screws that you can set, and it binds into the bar so it won't come off and it won't turn. So your grips, whatever kind you get, if you don't get the Roland Sands, may go back inside those channels just like the stock ones, and they kind of have this, it fits in that channel perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and do it this way. I'm gonna pull this all the way up, and this actually goes up a little farther now than where my duct tape was, which is just fine. I'm kind of gonna pull it all the way up till it won't go anymore. I'll take my little Allen wrench, and again there's a set screw right on the front here, and I'll lock this down good and tight. And I tested it, it's solid on there once you bind those little screws down into the bars. I wouldn't over tighten them, you could certainly strip that out. And then I've just got to do the one on the back side here. All right, so I've got those tightened down now. This is really set in. It's solid, it's really solid. And again, I'm not going to go in the channels there of the housing. I'm actually gonna go, that's gonna stay on the outside. And again, makes sense because you'd want to see all these machining here. It would be hidden in there. And so I will go down here and make sure that this tab is lined up with this tab. Be careful of your switch there. You don't want to shear that off. Get all that lined up. And now it makes it super simple. I'm kind of butting this system up against the grip. Now it makes it super simple, of course, for your housing to go back over. And I've got my duct tape up here. I'm just going to line this back up. And I will go back in the top here with my Torx. That is a T27. And we'll get this started here. Just till it starts to seat there. Back in the bottom there with my T27. And again, just get it started to seat. Now I'm going to make my final adjustment with my duct tape that's lined up here, kind of exactly how it was for placement. Once I get that right where I want it, T27, top and bottom of this perch clamp. And I'm kind of going back and forth so this clamp goes down nice and even and tight. And maybe another quarter turn there's all I'm going to do on those. And I'll finish up with my T25. Again, not too tight. About that much there. Go back in the bottom and tighten that down about like that. Everything's solid now. Yep, good, work, switches work and all that kind of stuff. So just kind of testing everything. Good to go. And they're my Roland Sands billet tracker grips, guys, completely installed on this 2016 Dyna Lowrider S. Very, very stylish. Again, links in the description below to our affiliate Revzilla. And I really, really like them. They're very, very grippy. A lot grippier than these, believe it or not, these Harley ones. I don't know what it is, but I like the feel. These were a little bit fatter, these ones here, but nonetheless, there you go, guys. That's how you install grips. I hope you enjoyed that completely free video. Somewhere on the screen, guys, is a subscribe button. Please hit it. Get subscribed so you're notified when we come out with new free videos, because we have a ton in the works for you guys. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up, like it, most of all, share it with all your biker friends. All right, guys, I hope you're well. I hope you're out there getting some riding and join the biker revolution. We're not stopping.